Thanks, Lisa. And as the temperatures drop this weekend, what's your thermostat setting? While we're not expecting sleet or ice, electric companies want you to think about how you're heating your home.
Yeah, WBTV South Carolina reporter Rachel Richardson is in York County tonight, finding out what electric cooperatives want members to keep in mind. Rachel?
Yeah, so this weekend's winter weather is going to look a lot different than last weekend's winter weather. And while widespread power outages are not expected, York Electric Cooperative is turning their attention to heavy winds that are expected. And right now, they're just focusing on making sure that all of their members are as informed and prepared as possible. York Electric Cooperative says it works to stay prepared for all types of conditions, and now their teams are equipped for this weekend's winter weather.
Specifically for snow, though, our guys have chains that they take home and make sure that they're on their trucks and ready to go just in case the roads have adverse conditions.
Temperatures will begin to drop this weekend into next week. They're asking members to consider the extra strain too much heating can be on systems. They recommend keeping home temperatures at around 68 degrees if possible and layering up.
So if it's very cold outside and you're asking your home to be a lot warmer, then that unit is going to be working a lot harder. So the closest that you can minimize the distance between the outside temperature and the inside temperature, that's going to save you a lot of money.
Heavier winds are on the way too. The cooperative says that could cause damage to equipment. Winds can impact poles, lines, lead to downed trees and more debris. York Electric is also warning about scams, telling customers not to share personal information, not to click on unknown links, and to always contact them directly. They say the latest updates and places to report outages and issues will be on their website.
And all of the most current information, including where crews are working, what we're anticipating, and anything that's coming our way is going to be on our social media.
They say this type of weather serves as a good reminder for families to make emergency plans in case of outages. They also urge the community to keep their neighbors in mind.
Our number one thing is to make sure that you have an emergency plan in case the power does go out, and to be sure and check on those neighbors, because if you're able to get out even just a phone call to make sure that your neighbors are safe, that's really of the utmost importance.
For more information about scams, more information about outages and other updates, you can go ahead and head over to our website, WBTV.com. In York County, Rachel Richardson, WBTV on your side.